Hey, hi, hello, and welcome to how I lost my hardcore Minecraft world after 9 months. In this video, I want to show you what happened, what I could have done better, and I want to show you the world I lost. So first of all, you might notice that this is a 1000 days hardcore world. For some people this might not be a lot, but since I've played an average of 6 hours of Minecraft a week during this period, this did actually take me 9 months. I started up this world back in January of 2021, so it was quite bitter to lose it all in the blink of an eye. But what happened that led up to this dooming death screen? Well, let me show you. Are you kidding me? So, in case you missed it, I flew up to my mob farm with a low durability elytra, with the intention to fix that elytra there. Was this cocky? Absolutely. Did I deserve to die? Yeah, probably. My calculations were in fact correct that I was going to make it up to the platform, however, I did not calculate me missing the platform as a result of my rocket spam. This led to me having no rockets to get back up there, and my elytra just couldn't hold on any longer and it broke, dropping me straight to my death. So I've seen a lot of people reply that I could have water bucket MLG'd with the axolotl bucket, which I by the way had because I always have a water bucket in my inventory, and I found an axolotl in the wild and I really wanted to bring it home. So for the people who were concerned, I do in fact always have a water bucket with me. Could the MLG have saved me? Absolutely. Why didn't I do it? Because in the heat of the moment, I simply did not realize I was already falling straight down until it was too late. I thought that I was still gliding while I was in fact making that huge drop. So what should I have done? I shouldn't have used that elytra to fly up to the mob farm. I should have either fixed the elytra a bit first, or I should have used my spare elytra. So even though, if I had thought of it, a water bucket MLG would have saved me, the biggest problem was flying up there at all. So let's have a look at the hardcore world that I lost. Look at the spider going there. So I do want to mention that for this video, I set the world to creative. This is with no intent of playing in the world at all. For me, once the hardcore world is lost, it is lost. So I will not continue playing on this, but I do like showing it off in creative better than in spectator. So I hope you guys don't mind that. So let's start with the obvious over here. So this is supposed to be a massive cactus. I never got around to finishing it. The plan was to make it to build height, but I never got there. This was one of my first projects on the world. I have no clue why I started with a massive thing like this. I just wanted to do it. Inside is just a massive cactus farm, goes all the way to the top. Plan for this build was to make it to build height, build limit, but we never got to do it, unfortunately. So it just has some smelters underneath. The smelters are fueled by a little bamboo farm, which was definitely not enough to fuel this entire thing, but it did something. It worked a little bit. Then over here we have a kelp farm that unfortunately broke when updating the game, and I never fixed it. Then we have some normal farms over here. We have some carrots, we have some weed. Sorry, just looking at it. We have some potatoes here because I needed potatoes. This is a sugarcane farm. Over here is another bamboo farm linked to this auto smelter. Look at that. All very small, very useful farms. I have no clue why there's a bed here, but nice. I did have some creeper explosions around the world here, so if you see some areas like this, I apologize. I never got around to tidying it up. So the nice thing is that I did start off in a village, and this is the house that I actually lived in for a while. Look at the little dragon head. My old home. So nice. But that was before I got started on the base. I kind of want to show the side projects first and then get into the base because the base is quite big. So over here we have a simple mob farm. See if I can get up there fast. The answer is probably no. So this is where the death happened. Don't look at the bottom. I don't know. I don't know why it looks like that. Huh. some flaws in design over here. But this was our mob farm. It's very simple, but it works quite decently as an XP farm. And of course, it was up in the sky, so spawns from mobs wouldn't interfere with the mob spawn rate of the farm, if what I just said makes any sense. But we all know that that is what eventually caused the death. All right, let's get back down. Got back down a lot faster when I died, huh? As you can see, I was super lucky with this seed. We have a desert village over there. We have a jungle over there. The mesa biome is also super close. If anyone's interested, I'll put the seed in the description. It's a really nice seed. Over here, we have a... That's very local rain. Over here, we have a sacrificing altar? Sacrificial altar? However you want to call it. This one we use to sacrifice some diamonds. Just because why not? I think it actually... I just made this build from the top of my mind, and I think it looked quite good. I like it. No references. Pretty cute build. Let me get rid of the rain real quick. Alright, there we go. It's quite cozy, the rain, but not very nice when you want to show off your world. So over here, this was kind of a meme. I asked chat how I can plant trees in Minecraft as kind of a joke to the backseaters who like to tell me how to do things that everyone knows who've played the game for a while. But we actually came up with this altar to pray to the tree gods, and that made our sapling grow. So that's our wonderful shrine here. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, before I show you guys the nether, I want to show you guys my base, obviously. So this is what I was working on. As you can see, it looks pretty big. We have a ton of stuff going on in here. So this part in the middle is a massive fish tank. And the fish are actually named. Let me show you guys. There's some people over here. These are actually viewers of the stream. So that is really cool. And it's really sad how it is lost. But it happens. It happens. There we go. It happens. Then, as we walk into the base, so the entire top part wasn't finished yet. Most things in this world weren't finished, except for the beautiful little altar there. That was finished, but most things aren't. So over here, we have the first room in this base, and that is a chest room. Sorry for the chokers here. If I knew I was gonna lose the world and had to do a world tour, I would have cleaned them up, but I didn't. So there's a beacon and some chokers and a brewing stand. But this is the cozy little chest room that I made. This was the first chest room. Later on, I decided to move the blocks out to a different chest room, so that's why there's some empty chests. Then over here, we have the enchantment room, which I'm really gonna miss. I think this is a super cute looking enchanting room. Look at that. So cute. Maybe I should have put a fish in here. That would have been even cuter. I like it. I like it very much. I'm sad that it's lost. Then we move down, and over here we have the second chest room, which only has building blocks, which I found very convenient. Just the same style. Easy, but looks cute. And I kind of like the use of these stones on the floor. I feel like those never really get used. And say hello to my villagers. My poor things. We're gonna miss them. Ah, looks like an enderman blessed us with a moss block. Oh well. This is my portal room. Just a simple room. Portal. We have a little aquarium over here. The fish are, of course, named as well. Look at them. Just simple, just cute. The moss block annoys me now. So, as you can see, I spent a lot of time on the details on the walls. So, yeah, that definitely took up a lot of days from the 1000 days to get the walls looking the way they do, but I think it worked out great. I really like it. And over here, we have our little lush cave, our little handmade lush cave, which was one of the newer projects, and I actually really like how it turned out. I still had to remove the torches and stuff, put in lanterns and all that. Unfortunately, didn't get to do it. Here we have some axolotls. They are vibing in here. And over here we have a little handmade geode. Look at that. If only I got to finish this with like the lanterns in, would have looked pretty nice. Oh well. Oh well. We can't dwell on the past. Okay, moving on. So as we walk down, we just have the same walls, same pretty walls, and then we move down to the deep dark. I know that's how the update is called, but I think that's a pretty good name for the bottom of my base. So over here we change. I always called this heaven and the bottom hell. Over here we change to a different wall, which I love. I love this wall. It was a lot of pain and a lot of effort, but I love the way it turned out. The aquarium is now lava, and it's just a very dark vibe in general. As we go down, this was supposed to have rooms with villagers. This was supposed to be where my villagers would live, so every villager type would have a room, but unfortunately didn't get to it. This is also a room that I was working on for supporters of the stream, as you can see. But this is also not finished. Even though it's great. I love it. I'm so sad that nothing is finished because everything, in my opinion, looks great. It's just not finished. And then we get to the bottom, which has a bedrock, and I still had to finesse the edges. But yeah, it goes all the way down. Ooh. A little thunder for the vibe. So that is the base. I'm really happy with the base. It took a lot of time to get this base to how it looks now. But yeah. We lost it. So it's fine. This is all okay. Let me speed this up a little bit for y'all. So now that we are back up, of course, it had to start raining again. Let's fix that real quick. Much better. So that was the base. As you can see, it's a pretty big base, and especially the walls have a lot of detail in them that took forever. There is a little teeny tiny mention I want to give to the old villager trading hall, because you might notice there is none as of right now. There was a plan to put it in the bottom of the base, but we didn't get the time for it. But this was actually the initial villager trading hall. But unfortunately, when updating the game, the villagers disappeared. This was a bug, and they didn't live, and I never put villagers back because I didn't need them at the moment, and I couldn't be bothered to. So yeah, that's a little mention to the OG villager trading hall that we had. Other than that, in this world that I'm not going to show because it's kind of boring, I was working on draining an ocean monument, and that was my current project before I unfortunately lost the world. And then it's time. The Nether is calling us. Let's show you guys what we've done there. Oh, hello. So in the Nether, I have made quite a lot of hallways. And with quite a lot, I mean 2. Yes, 2. I was working on a 3rd, but I don't think I really started. I just knew where it was going to go. And it was going to go towards the ocean monument, which would have been great if we could have finished both. But this is the first hall. This was actually made on Easter. So as you can see, we have Easter eggs in item frames, which have names of viewers of the stream. Could you move? Sir, I'm kind of in the middle of something. Run! Okay, great. All right, now that we have some more privacy. Ah, no, he's coming back, isn't he? It's okay, we're gonna have to deal with the noises. All right, so this hallway was made during Easter. So I wanted to make an Easter hallway, and the glazed terracotta kind of gave me like an Easter egg vibe. So that's why I used them in different colors. all the way throughout. The bottom is made from terracotta, and then this is quartz. It took quite some time to collect all the quartz since I didn't have a villager for that anymore. As you can see, I couldn't be bothered with all the glazed terracotta, so excuse the little rough patches here and there. Some I really tried, and some I did not so much. But as you can see, this is just a huge hallway that eventually leads up to the Nether Fortress. We actually had to have 2 Nether Fortresses at the end of this hallway. So I won't show it all because it's very long and it doesn't have a pretty exit at the end. So let me go back and show you guys the other hallway. So same as in the overworld, where we had a hell and a heaven in the base. In the nether, we have a heaven tunnel, which is considered to be the egg tunnel. That was not what I meant to do. And we have our hell tunnel, look at that. So this is just a way darker vibe, and this is called the potato hallway. We had some incidents, I see. Oh, this is actually where I was gonna set up the next tunnel, so it's not an incident. It just, was never finished, unfortunately. So this is just a massive hallway. You can see the use of deep slate. I absolutely love deep slate. We have a little special potato here, a poisonous potato. And it is just endless. I will walk towards the end for you, but it's huge. It's huge. It took a lot of time, but it's worth it. I think it looks great. And here we go. Here's the end. So as you can see, this is a massive hallway. I'm actually quite proud of it. I think it's pretty nice and it's huge. We love huge projects. So at the end of this is, don't mind the 2 portals. It had a reason. It had a reason. But this is the village that we would get our villagers from. And I think the weather here is great to end this video on. Kind of have like the little spooky ambience. Hello, skeleton. Hi. So, unfortunately, this is the hardcore world I lost. I know that for some people it might not have a lot of builds on it, but I was very proud of it. I spent a lot of time on the builds that I had. Oh, hello. We have a special guest. So I hope you guys liked seeing the death and how the world looked. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment if you want to, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!